Hi guys, thanks so much for joining me here at Rose and Jones. So today I thought we'd just casually talk through all the perfumes that I've sort of accumulated recently. It was my birthday yesterday, so I've got a few nice little goodies that I got for my birthday, so we're going to go through those as well. I've also ended up with quite a few discovery boxes from different fragrance houses. Got my half drunk cup with Rosie Lee here, and we're just going to dive straight in. So my birthday presents were pretty much centered around perfume for the most part, but I did get some other really cool bits that I thought I'd just share with you because they're kind of sweet and really cool. I got a bottle of booze from my mum, as well as her paying towards a fragrance that we'll get into in a bit. But I've never seen anything like this before, and really it's more about the bottle because she knows I love anything that's kind of quirky. I'll just show you how long this bottle is. So long and beautiful and thin. It's just quirky, and you can imagine this kind of a long unusual bottle in maybe a wizard's lab or something, with a candle stuck in the top and it all dribbling down the sides. That's what I'm going to do with it. Sweet Made by Sweet Potatoes, Toffee Apple Moonshine. So it's just really like, it's just a cute, unusual liqueur that you probably never buy yourself. It's one of those things that is more likely to be a gift. So it's really, really lovely. But I've got my eye on the bottle more than the juice, if I'm honest. So my sister got me this. This is really sweet. This is just something that you make cookies with. So they've got all the ingredients ready in the bottle, and you just add things like obviously milk and egg and that kind of thing, and it's, I think they're honey chocolate cookies, and there's the recipe. It's just really sweet, I thought, so I got that for my birthday, and she's also paid towards a fragrance. And the next thing is so cute, so adorable, and really, put that back over there, really special. My niece made me this. And what this actually is a character from a book that she's writing. She's a very clever young lady, and she's studying literature at university. And she's been writing this book for a long time, but she's very heavily into fantasy. She writes the most amazing characters, and she thinks up the most beautiful imagery and creations, and this little character is from her imagination. I won't go into it too much because one day I hope that her book is published and we'll hear all about her amazing creations, but this little character is one of the characters from her book. And on the back of this pipe she's got a scroll with an insert from the part of the book that involves this character, so I can read this part of the book that she's written and bring this character to life in his little moment in the book. So really special fragrance. It's a really special present. Absolutely adorable with his little butterfly on his knee. He's just beautiful, and that is a very, very special present. How many times am I going to knock this camera? Amazing balloon that my sister brought round. Okay, it was like the best balloon you'll ever see. I'll insert a picture of it because it's just too good to be missed. I mean, I did remind her that I'm of course an adult and I don't need, you know, unicorns and balloons. I'm an adult, you know. I'll be having a giant unicorn head floating around in my kitchen for the next few weeks. Okay, so the first thing that I got was a discovery set from a fragrance house called L'Orchestra Parfums. This is a really cool house that I keep seeing mentioned on YouTube, and everything I hear about it, it just sounds really, really exciting, really intriguing, and each fragrance that this house has made, because it's quite a new house, is based around a piece of music. It's a musical inspired house, and there's actually a piece of music that accompanies each of their fragrances. So if you're on their website, they do have a piece of music for each fragrance, and I love that idea. I love the thought behind it, and music and fragrance is linked for the obvious reasons that you have notes and they come together and make music, very much like fragrance. I love that they do actually bother to put in the scent sticks, you know. So yeah, that's a really nice little touch. It comes with notes about each fragrance here, really sweet little notes, just a little overview and, you know, the feeling that you get behind each one. And I got obviously a handwritten note here. We wish you a wonderful polysensory journey with L'Orchestra Parfum. So I'm not going to jump into too much depth with all of these, but we have a Neroli, which was really lovely and bright. You've got the Darbuka, which I think that's quite a heavy one. I think it might be an oud one. Rose Trombone was really lovely. It's a fruity rose with a bit of booze behind it. Incense is a lovely strong incense, like a peppery incense. That's really nice. You've got Queer Cura, which I think is a leather fragrance, and obviously the one that most people have heard of, and this is the one that tends to get spoken of the most, is Piano Santal, which is a really lovely smooth sandalwood fragrance. But that's just an overview for now. So that is the 6 from L'Orchestra. Oh God, what is going on? Next up is a discovery box from Galavant. And I'm really excited to try this actually because I keep hearing a lot of other YouTube reviewers talking about Galavant and I'm hearing great things about this house. So, hang on, I'm dropping everything on the floor. Now you've got a little handwritten note by the guy Nick, who's the creator obviously. And each fragrance is inspired by a place or a capital of a different country. So that's a really nice, it's nice to have a theme, I think. It's lovely to have some sort of theme to draw you in, you know. And there are eight fragrances to try out. And I'm really excited about this one because I'm going to be doing a collab with somebody, someone special. And I'm really excited to be doing the collab with them. So I won't go into any of these now. Really special video over a few weeks with someone, and we'll be going through each fragrance together. So that is something to look forward to. Please watch this space. We will be doing that very, very soon. So yeah, excited to be doing that. So that is the House of Galavant. I've also got a beautiful box of fragrances here from MDCI, which actually I won't go through them now because I've got a fragrance that accompanies this and I'll go through these when we talk about that one. Next up is a crazy massive box. Actually, I'm going to remove this Care Bear cup because I think we've all seen enough of that. I've got a massive box of samples here that arrived in the post today. I wasn't expecting so much. Anyway, so this is part of a swap. So it's a lovely lady on Instagram. So she's absolutely a diamond. And we did a little swapsy. So she wanted a decant of something I had and I sent her a few samples of the decant. And she sent me this. Absolutely full of goodies, absolutely full up. So I've got lots to go through here. Won't go through all of everything now. We've got lots of different things, so many samples here to try. One particular fragrance that I'm super excited to try in here, and it's by Ormonde, and I've mentioned Ormonde before and how I'm really enjoying the house. So there's one in here called Vanille Iris, which I'm super excited to try out, but I have no idea where I'm going to find it. There you go, and my little handwritten note from Sue. So thank you, Sue, for watching. Thank you so much for my amazing parcel of goodies. Next up, I've got some samples from a house from Abel. Abel isn't a house I really ever hear of. I know about this house is because of Peter Carter from the channel Fragrance View talks about one of these, and it sounded really lovely and I was just desperate to try it, and that was actually Pink Iris. He talks about Pink Iris, and Peter's a very fussy guy in a good way. You know, he knows what he likes and he knows quality, like he really does. So his opinion is one to listen to. So Pink Iris is the one that he was talked about, and this is the one I bought. It sent me two more as well. I'm not going to go into detail, but it is a really lovely iris fragrance. It's like a musky, it's a bit of a musky one. It starts off a little bit like baby wipes, if I'm honest. Pink Iris. But it dries down quite lovely actually. It's very musky iris. It's got a bit of a pepperiness as well. But it's one of these ones that you kind of keep sniffing because there's something really beautiful in there. I'm not sure if it's worth a full bottle, but I want to work with it a bit more and just see. And Nature is like a bright citrusy one with ginger. So that's actually really lovely as well. Yeah, a nice little house, and three really nice fragrances. So all my recent ones are sitting here in front of me, and the first one I'm going to just pull out here is Sweet Vanilla. Now obviously I just did a review of this one, so if you've seen that review, you know what this is all about. If you are interested in hearing more about it, then go watch the review. It's just a really strong vanilla. It's that classic vanilla style from Montale and very similar to Mancera. Both, I think they're sister companies, so you get the same sort of DNA from both. This pulls kind of apricot. It's got an apricot note, big bright, very sweet apricot jam in the beginning, and as it dries down, you get more kind of like a effervescent chalky sweetness, you know. Really love this one. It's like a pick-me-up sort of a fragrance, quite loud and very happy. And yeah, that's one of my newer ones, so I thought I'd include that. Two from a house that I've been really loving, really loving, and I've mentioned one of them on a previous video. I've since bought that. It was a sample originally, and now I bought the bottle, and I've also bought another one. So two from Ormonde, and I really do enjoy this house. It's the vibe, it's the style, it's the feeling that you get from the fragrances. I've only tried a few, so I can't speak for the entire house. I think a lot that you get the Elixir line, which pulls a lot stronger. They're just really beautifully blended. And Prive is one that I really fell in love with. So it comes in a packaging like that. Every one of these that I've got so far has a different packaging. The Frangipani that I bought had a more sort of cushioned box, which was really lovely. This one's got more of a hard cardboard, so I don't know why that is. It's the 50ml of Prive. It is really unique to anything I actually have in my collection. It is an aromatic style of fragrance. It has strong notes of rice and orris root or iris. I've got them written down actually. Let me see. Pink pepper, freesia, coriander. Yeah, mandarin. It's a very bright, it's very aromatic, and it's quite spicy and peppery in a really wonderful way. I've described it before as being the scent of like a creamy nutmeg rice pudding in the air. It has a nutmeggy scent. I think of this fragrance as a peaceful one, and it's like the space between other things. When you get different notes or different feelings in a fragrance, it reminds you of certain flowers or certain woods or objects, things like that. This to me is the space around objects. It's that kind of airy feeling with a hint of, I don't know, substance in the air. It's just got this peaceful vibe. It's so beautiful. I think if you spray this near other fragrances or when you've already got other scents up your nose, I don't think you're going to appreciate this scent. It's one of these ones that's very pure and subtle. If you love your aromatic sort of slightly peppery spicy scents that aren't too loud and just are calming, this is the sort of thing you probably would enjoy. So yeah, that's Prive. The next one was also part of the little sample pack that I bought, and I didn't actually love this at all when I first sprayed it and I first smelt it. It's a rose scent. This is the Tafe from Ormonde. So Tafe is a rose, it's a Tafe rose. It's the 100ml, 120ml. Don't scratch my chair, cat, get off. I had no intention of buying a 120ml bottle of this fragrance because I don't love this as much as I love Prive. Harrods were doing a sale. This was cheaper than Prive. The 120ml should have been X amount, and it was way less even than the 50ml. That was a really good deal, and this fragrance was definitely worth that anyway. I've been loving this since buying it. I've been wearing it a lot since buying it. You can see how much has already gone down. It's such an easy one to wear, and yet when I first tried this, it was a rose that I just wasn't familiar with. It's got a funny, it's not a typical rose scent. It's like one that has, without sounding odd, it's got like a medical scent edge to it, or a plasticky edge to the rose. It's very strange, but it's very smooth, very well blended, and the other notes are making it different, unusual, a rose that I haven't really tried before. I find it very easy to wear. This one also has pink pepper and freesia like Prive, but it's got a note of dates, which does give it this kind of very dense kind of a fruit sort of smell, a bit musky. It's definitely got a muskiness to it. And it's also got amber, so you've got a really warm, slightly resinous feeling as well. So it's quite a warming rose, but it's not heavy. It's all those things, but it's not a heavy rose. I think it's one that might disappear in colder months because I don't think the performance is brilliant. But during these warmer, not really hot days, but during these warmer months, it seems to be really coming alive, and I just think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful fragrance. Yeah, that's Tafe. Really enjoying it. That's another one from Ormonde. Next is a backup bottle of a fragrance. Dolce & Gabbana Peony. I bought a 30ml of this. I have absolutely breezed through that bottle. Got about 15ml left in it, and my mum's decided that she loves this fragrance, so I've given her what's left of my other little bottle. And this is the new one. This is 75ml. This is the most you can get. If they did a 200ml of this, I would buy it because it is my go-to. One really does tick all the boxes for me. It's such an easy one for me to keep reaching for. It's got peony, it's got freesia, there's rose in here. It's a dominant note of maribel plum. There's another fruit in here. I've gone completely blank on what the other fruit is. I like it because it's watery, it's refreshing, it's juicy, it's quite vibrant, it's green in a subtle way. Soft florals around a really juicy, fruity note. It's just beautiful. So that is Peony by Dolce & Gabbana. So next up, we've got one for the jasmine lovers. This one is Maison Lancome, and this is Jasmins Marzipan. I really never thought I would have a jasmine fragrance in my collection, especially one, well, at least one that's not heavily dominated by jasmine. They seem to generally come off as obnoxious, heady. For me, a lot of the time, I hadn't found one until now that really just gave me that pure flower. This one does. This one isn't too abrasive, it's not too strong. And the marzipan is pointing you to this, obviously this almond. It's actually almond wood in here. I don't want to stare at the box, let's get into the bottle. And it softens the jasmine. Jasmine can be quite sharp, it can be. but the almond softens it and makes it into this beautiful fragrance. So there's a lot of woods in this fragrance. It's almond wood. There's we've got, what have we got here? There's sandalwood, cashmere wood. So it's giving you the impression that it's soft, and it is a soft fragrance. I find it very innocent. It's very pure and simple. There's nothing trying to compete with anything else. What you get on your first spray is what you end up with later in the day. It's got a fantastic performance. This will last all day. It really, really, really will. So, yeah, a great performing fragrance. Just don't expect it to be smelling like Marzipan. Just know that it will be a jasmine, but it will be a very soft and pleasing jasmine. One that's very wearable. So I feel like I should be in a dress, you know, like a summer country dress that's long with little flowers on, straw hats and daisies in your hair, or a daisy chain around your neck. I don't know, that's kind of where this takes me, this little fragrance. The bottle is exquisite. Golden, beautiful juice inside. This is the fragrance my mum and my sister have paid towards, and I bought this before my birthday, so I got the bottle and they've since given me money towards it. I've already used this much. I did do a decant for my sister, so there's a bit missing from her 10ml decant, but I have used it a lot. What more can I say? Stunning bottle, stunning performance, and a stunning scent. So that is Jasmins Marzipan. The grand finale. I've been so excited to get this fragrance. My lovely husband bought this for my birthday. There's a channel on Instagram, I can't remember the name of the channel, but they were doing a giveaway for MDCI, and there were going to be 10 prizes. The first prize got a full bottle of MDCI, a fragrance, any fragrance they wanted, and the runners-up all got €50 off of a purchase, and I was one of the lucky ones to get €50 off. Now these bottles are very expensive, so even €50 off, it's still, you're still left with quite a hefty price tag. But it was my birthday and he was very sweet and bought me the bottle that I really wanted. We're going to start with the discovery. Well, it's not a discovery box. You get to choose what samples you want to have. I say samples, they're actually bottles, proper bottles of fragrance. It also comes with a little travel decanter as well, so that you can actually dispense one of the bottles, one of the little travel bottles, straight into this. So that's really lovely. And this is how they come. This, I didn't expect, I thought they were just going to be like loads of samples like this, and they're actually all actual bottles with, I'm not sure how much is in there, looks like about sort of 10 mils maybe. I've not tried all of these yet. I've tried Chypre Palatine, La Belle Helene, which are the two that I was familiar with and asked for. I'll go through, I'll do a full review on all of those for you in the very near future. So the fragrance that I have got for my birthday, a special fragrance, is Cio Cio San, and I did talk briefly about this one in my, I think it was my May video, my May favourites video. And for an expensive fragrance that it is, I would have liked maybe a nicer packaging. It's nothing special, but you can see it's a very basic cardboardy box. Yeah, it's a kind of basic box. Now this is the fragrance house that do these busts that sit on top, and you spend another, I think it's another €150, I think that's what it is. You get a full presentation, and the full presentation is a moulded bust, and each bust is different for the fragrance. This one had a beautiful women's sort of head and shoulders that goes on top, and I would love to have that, but for the amount of money you're paying for it, it just didn't seem sensible. But I do think it completes the presentation. I do think that if you fall in love with an MDCI fragrance and you're passionate about your collection, I think it would be lovely to have the bust, personally. But the bottle is stunning, you know, it has detailing, the cap's fairly basic. It's quite hard to get off, actually. There you go. Okay, so the bottle cap's off. Oh, I can smell it straight away. I'm so clumsy. I don't know what I did. I touched the lid and it pinged off over there. Let's just give this another spray. This was my scent today, naturally. So this is a cherry blossom lychee fragrance. Very bright, fruity, floral. I get vibes of this one, of Peony. There's something about these two that are kind of linked. I don't know what it is. There's a very strong Peony note obviously in this, and I think there's a very strong Peony note in Cio Cio San. But it's more dominated by a cherry blossom note and lychee. So it's much denser than Peony. I mean, you can smell that there's a lot more going on with this one. And the Peony note in here It's very strong, it's very dense. Lychee makes it really vibrant and juicy, and it gives you that lovely watery fruit. And the cherry blossom is really beautiful, and I do think it comes off quite cherry-y actually. You do definitely get a very cherry vibe in here. I love lychee. It's like that kind of watery, mouth-watering, very watery fruit, and it's got a slightly rosy touch to it. It's got like a really delicate, fruity wine touch to it. So if you ever had like elderflower wine, imagine drinking that. That's kind of like a scent that you're getting, only it's cherry blossom and lychee. There's also a note of saffron in here, which is kind of giving you this slightly spicy, slightly sour, just very slightly. I think I mentioned before about it having quite a pear nuance as well. It does sound complicated. It's not a complicated scent. It's actually a very smooth, soft scent, but it's just the depth can bring you different fruits. It can bring you a different sort of feeling. So that is Cio Cio San. So it's a very soft, very elegant, fruity floral. So that's it, guys. I think that we're about done. These are all my latest additions to my fragrance collection. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm looking forward to see you all on my next one. I hope you can join me. That is all. Take care. Over and out.